What do you reckon your screen time is?
I know what mine is. It told me this morning.
Let's have a look. What did it say?
5 and a bit hours.
5 and a bit hours.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess mine?
I reckon on a busy week, practically 0. And on if you're not,
It's always based into work, isn't it? That's the worst thing.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If
Go
you
on.
lift your devices, I reckon about 10.
Yeah.
I'm a bang on.
Yeah. 100% bang on.
Mate, what would you do if you lost that phone?
No, because then you just file it into something else, don't you? Be an alcoholic.
Would you
or
panic?
something, I don't know.
No, but I meant, would you have a panic attack?
No.
So, like my kids, when they haven't got their phones and bits and pieces, it messes with them bad.
Yeah, but they've never not had it.
No, it's like everything they do is on there.
I didn't have a phone until I was like, whatever. I didn't have a smartphone until 2009, like 13 years ago. It's fine. Most people, that's their whole life.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I
So
wasn't.
what would you do if you lost the phone? You could never get a phone contract again.
I mean,
How
that's
would you
such a weird question. What would you do?
panic. Or generally, like if you ever know when you lose your phone or mislay it,
Mm.
it's like shit. I need to find my phone. I need to find my phone. That's with obviously what we're talking about. We've created that whole thing. So some of our own problems that we're creating mental wise. Why would you panic about phone?
I would like to see the statistics from mental health from before 2009 and now, because I guarantee it's this.
It's because, do you know
It's
why?
that. It's
They're
terrible.
connected. You're
It's a
connected.
terrible situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. It will get. Think how many people have been in trouble because of their phones on multiple different things. Where they should
Relationships,
be, where they
marriages.
should be, where they shouldn't be. Your relationships, marriages, friendships, WhatsApp groups, slagging off other people. Like, just think, like all these words.
All comes down to that one thing.
One thing. And do you know what? At the same time, it is also a genius. It also brings people together. It always also means that you could speak to your grandparents or whatever when it was COVID and stuff like that. It means you can communicate in different ways, and you can learn different languages, and you can learn new skills and blah, blah, blah. And you can even grow, and you can make money. You know what I mean? There are some great things, but both things right now. But when it comes to it, there's also a payoff. And everything, I feel like,
Has a consequence.
everything. And I think people forget that. If you ask most people, do you want to be famous?
Yeah.
Their answer is yes. Because in their mind, they're seen by loads of people and they get money. But I didn't ask them for how long do you want to be famous? Can you sustain not seeing your friends and family anymore? Can you sustain not going to those
But they
parties?
don't know the bigger picture, do they? They just see what they see on the TV in a sense of, oh, look, they've got the money, they've got the women or guys in whatever case it is, and
Yeah.
they can live in the high life.
Yep.
Yeah, but what they don't realise is how much you've actually, like,
It's hard work. It's super, and like you don't go to parties as much.
When did it die down for you? In the sense, obviously, you did X Factor, bits and
Mm.
pieces. You were on tour for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, for a while.
So, but obviously, in that sense, you
But
had.
do you know what? In some sort of formats, the kind of over the topness dies down like after a couple of years, depending on what you want to do and what you're doing, stuff like that. People, you could be doing something massive. People are like, "What are you doing next?" You know what I mean? Like, but like having a baby, like, "When's the next one?" Straight away, they want to ask this, but it never dies because people recognize people forever. I'll see someone from Hollyoaks that hasn't been in Hollyoaks for ages, and I'll be in Italy somewhere, and they'll be like, oh, "It's Tony from Hollyoaks." Not even his name. His name in the show, not real life.
Yeah.
Don't have no idea what
I
it's
know
called.
exactly
Really.
what you're talking about. As
You
well.
know what I mean? I'm like, and that's what happened. And
Is
we just
Hollyoaks still going?
we followed him right. I think so. Yeah. So they must be, because who would go into I'm a Celebrity? So they always have someone from Hollyoaks. They always have someone from Hollyoaks all the time. It's you look at it. Do you see what I'm wearing today? Can you work out what it says?
Cyber something.
Cybertruck.
What's a T?
And who owns Cybertruck? Whose company makes Cybertruck anyway?
What is Cybertruck?
Oh my god, do you actually read the internet?
No,
No, I didn't think so.
no, I'm not attached to my phone at 10 hours a day.
That's true. It's Elon Musk. Obviously, we're talking about.
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah, because this is the one that doesn't need to have brakes and stuff. And
I think it has
kinetic energy,
brakes,
yeah.
but yeah.
No, I mean,
yeah,
in the
the
sense you've got to
concept car,
replace them. It's basically
Yeah.
saying it doesn't need to replace them. The energy goes back into the battery. Yeah, I've watched the...
When he threw a rock at the thing and it broke. That was a long time ago. But yeah, so I was wearing Solidarity for Elon, because there's a documentary on the BBC right now. I
Okay.
just watched 3-part, hour each episode. So I'm watching that. Also, Louis Theroux, he's doing interviews, just doing one with Stormzy. I think Dame Judi Dench.
yeah.
I'm watching the Stormzy one right now. Well, not right now. Actually, right now.
Such an idiot.
Anyway, how's your week?
It's, in fairness, I've noticed, and obviously this is where I expect the viewers to put some comments in when they've heard it, or, winter's here. And I'm feeling...
Winter is coming.
No, not just because obviously the weather's changed, but in a sense of, it was only when somebody pointed it out, which obviously I knew it all the time, the sunshine's gone, and my mental health's got worse. It's because I'm not getting the sunshine. And obviously the weather's miserable, which makes you miserable. So, yeah, I'm trying to find a healthy way to get sunshine without going on holiday.
Yeah, I was going to say Tenerife.
Yeah, look, but no, in the sense of, I've been looking, is it sad lights and stuff like that? And I don't know if you ever heard of it. No, there is actually a thing. There's a thing.
Sad lights.
It's called sad lights. And basically what it is, because if you think about it, you're going to sleep in the dark and getting up in the dark. And then if you're in an office like now, you haven't actually seen any daylight. If you actually come into here, like there's no windows in the studio, or they've got here in the dark, go home in the dark. So you're not getting the sunshine and vitamin D, which also then messes with your sleep patterns, which then obviously affects your mental health. And the sunshine also doesn't reduce vitamin D, because obviously I've researched that this week. Wondering, literally, I have no, in a sense of, I'm cutting out the stresses like what we've talked about. I'm dealing with them, doing all the stuff that I've been taught by the therapist. Yeah. I'm like, why am I literally up and, it feels like I'm up and down like a yo-yo. And then someone said, oh, you were looking a bit pale. And I was like, right. Well, Scott, normally you're brown all year round. It was only occurred...
Always in that garden, always in the garden.
Yeah, in the sense of I haven't managed to... Put it this way, I've worked out there's a thing called sad lights. And the other thing is the missing vitamin D is also what can also affect your mental health. So in the sense of some people could be, and I think this must happen to a lot of people, in wintertime, they're more depressed. And I'm wondering, like what you're saying about statistics, I wonder how, in the summertime, how many people come forward to how many people come forward in the winter. I reckon that would be, I reckon there's a jump when the weather change and like the referrals or people ringing up for not quite understanding, and not saying this is the only way to solve your problem, but it could be as simple as getting some vitamin D in you and some sunshine.
Do you, where do you want to be every day? Like on a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being ecstatic and 0 being the worst place ever.
What, mentally?
Yeah. Where do you want to be?
I've kind of learned to, I want it to be even in the sense of when I'm down, I'm looking forward for the good time, right? As in when it balances itself and I feel positive and getting stuff done. But you wouldn't know. It's a bit like until you get a sore throat, you don't understand or appreciate when you don't, but then you forget not having a sore throat until you get a sore throat again. So in the sense of, I know I've got to have some of the bads to appreciate the goods, but at the moment it feels like I'm having more bads than I am having good. So I want it kind of to be...
Are you not appreciating the goods?
I'm appreciating them, but they're not lasting as long enough.
They shouldn't.
Go on, why?
The bads are the things that we remember the most. If you look at social media or anything like that and you see anything that catches your eye and you're like, whoa, you know, bloody hell, that's quite bad. That's bad. And I said, oh, cool. How many good things you say? Well, you know, a few.
You don't remember them.
No. You don't remember
like pain. Yeah, no, I get it.
You don't remember the green lights. You remember the red lights all the time. You just go and sail through the green lights. Mm-hmm. That's a good moment. But you're all like, oh, another one, another red light. Yeah. You know, and I feel that we're kind of a bit stuck because I think we think that life should be good. And that is crap.
Like we're entitled to, you mean?
Mate, it's crap. Life is absolutely mundane, boring, nothing. Standard, every day is the same with little bits. And there's a bit of rubbish and there's a bit of good. But majority, like a high proportion, like more than 80%, is nothing. It's just boring, everyday stuff. And we now want to live in a heightened, I feel good. Everything feels good. I want to be good. As I was like, yeah. Do you know how far away sad is and bad and terrible is from good?
Is it the word utopia, isn't it? Is where we want to live.
No, because then.
Do you reckon we wouldn't appreciate that neither?
No. Wow, my God.
Do you reckon that's as a species? Do you reckon that's our downfall?
No, our species right now is that we are spoiled.
Entitled to, motherfuckers.
How could we not be? Look what we have. We should be bowing down to our fridge freezers in our sheds and garages and houses where we have them, right? We should be bowing down to our washing machine, right? Because without these things, just two things, without these things, we take for granted. How many times do you go into a house and someone doesn't have a fridge? How many times do you go in a house and they don't have a washing machine? It's so, but take that back. Like our grandparents' time, they didn't.
No.
We got, how many TVs you got in your house?
1, 2.
All right, you already too many.
4, about 4 or 5. I think we got.
What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How many TVs did you have when you were growing up?
1.
Yeah. Where was it?
Shit.
Where was it?
Living room.
Yeah. How big was it?
No, I think it was that little kind of thing.
You know what I mean?
We did get a 52-inch one. TV. Oh, do you know, like with the backs? But it literally sat from there. I'm not shit you not to about here.
Yeah, you had to space for it.
Yeah.
But that was later on, you know what I mean? But at the same time, did you have a TV remote?
No, not the first.
No.
Not what. No, we did eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, but of course, because of technology. What? And we sit there. How many times did you go on holiday when you were a kid? Get on a plane? I never went on holiday with my parents at all. Like, we went to Cornwall.
Oh, yeah, English holidays.
Yeah,
abroad holidays, I think they were very, very, very,
few.
rare. Yeah.
Watch people now.
Oh, yeah, 2-3 times a year. Yeah, summer holidays.
They need it.
Yeah.
You know, and this element is like, we live in a really tough time. We do. And if you look at any kind of minority or anything like that, then, yeah, it's always bad for any minority. In life, it's bad for any minority. You get further enough down the ladder, it's terrible. But some of those minorities are also balling and doing great.
Well, that's where I was about to touch with, because obviously...
I'm going to say some, and when I say some, it's less than 1%.
Yeah. Like, as in the sense of... It's only when I was working the doors and bits pieces, I see some of the homeless on Reading, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, everyone's hit rock bottom. I'd hit rock bottom at that point and lost certain things.
Majority men, yeah.
Yeah, in fairness, yeah, it was probably...
Well, women get looked after more.
Yeah, but I thought it's supposed to be equal rights, but okay.
Well, it's never equal rights in those situations because you never have to carry a child. So it's not equal rights.
No. But the one thing I did notice, and which really shocked me, because going back like generations like you're talking about...
Which is, by the way, 2 generations. 1 generation of just talking about us.
Yeah. How do they afford a mobile phone?
Because mobile phones are relatively quite cheap.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, even in my generation, or our generation, mobile phones have only just come... Obviously, mobile phones were like that, with a great big suitcase.
I think you're forgetting, but that's still the 80s, and the 80s was 40 years ago. We changed a lot. So I guarantee they don't have an up-to-date phone.
No. I'm not saying they're walking around with a brand new, but what I'm trying to say is, even... How would I put this in the politest way without someone shooting me down? Is even our homeless are different to...
Oh.
Not that they're sleeping on the streets and they're not going through hardship.
Well, but
if you went back 40 years ago, they wouldn't... Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's comparable the whole time. Everything just moves like this.
Yeah.
It's the same. So the bottom and the top, we all moved exactly the same. The top may get a little bit further away than the bottom, but normally it's kind of, we're all kind of progressing. Like, being homeless now is pretty tough, but is it tougher than 100 years ago? No.
Right. That's...
No, it wasn't. 100 years ago, they didn't even know, well, just over 100 years ago, they didn't even know germs existed. You know what I mean? Like, doctors wouldn't wash their hands.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you see this in the, is it First World War?
They thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke to wash
mud
our
on their hands, sticking it in, trying to take out bullets and
they
stuff.
had no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we do progress, and we progress quite quickly, and now we can do heart surgery. We can give people new faces, new arms, and you know what I mean? If you chop off your fingers, they can probably put them back on and it can work again. You know, we can do stuff like that. It's incredible. But we are getting better. But the problem is that we now can't really sustain things happening slowly. And we just want it to happen now. You look at like people, it's kids walking and talking like, oh, is your kid talking yet? You're like, no. Oh, actually, mine did it.
Yeah, mine did this at TikTok. Right, listen, really. All right, I've got 4 kids. They all did something different at a different age. And right, but what does that mean? Now, when they're adult,
it means nothing. It means nothing because everything happens pretty much the same. I think one of the things that we're kind of missing, I think that I don't think we're doing things to make our life easier. I don't think we are doing things to make our lives better. I think we're doing a lot of things to make our lives worse. And I think one of the things is that we keep on doing is that we keep on blaming other people and blaming others, and we're blaming governments, and we're blaming, because it's so easy. But I swear we stopped looking at ourselves, and we stopped looking about being reactionary. We stopped looking about being upset and annoyed all the time and blah, blah, blah. a lot of things we're doing is because we're distracted on things that we should be focusing on. So everything you've just done wrong this week, I guarantee it's been your fault by about 90%.
But I would have said 99%. But yeah, in a sense of I could have made it. If you know, like what you're trying to say, I feel like I'm entitled to. Like I should be. Why? Well, how come that person's got it, and it's not till I stop.
Who cares about that person?
But that's my point. Is
how you should be thinking. How do I get it?
That was my next point. So obviously the housing bits pieces, obviously, which we're talking about. And this is how, with another conversation we was having before this, yes, there's wars in Ukraine. Yes, but it's like, this is when you think, I should. Why is that person? Why is this person? How did that person get in front? Why can't I?
Because it's bigger than you.
And that's the bit, is I've not been. And what I'm trying to say is I had to put myself, like, how did the person from Ukraine be here for a week, get a social housing, right? And it wasn't. I was like, well, I've been on it for ages. Stopped, and it wasn't you kind of stopped and did kind of what you were saying. I've never been in a war zone. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
And then move to a country where you don't know the language,
right? And I'm thinking, well, fuck me. Of course, they need it more. And it's not until you stop, but you can see how the people in the UK, not just UK, obviously this kind of part of the world, want it now. And I've done it. I'm guilty. And I think we've all been guilty at some point, wanting it now.
Yeah.
Why can't I? I must. You should give.
Because you're not at the front of the queue. You should go to A&E and see if you're at the front of the queue for whatever you've got wrong with you right now. Because one person will come in and then you'll be like at the bottom. You could have been at the top. But now they're like, actually, no. We've got to look after these three right in front of you.
Yeah.
But I've been here for 6 hours. They've just got here in 2 minutes. They need more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's so difficult.
But we are all right. And I did it to myself. I got angry.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I don't like Ukrainians or the Russia. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was because I feel, and obviously, like you're saying, we're getting to that point where we want things now. Why can't I have it now? And it's not until you have to kind of, like with the mental health thing, going back to the question that you're saying, the reason why I want more good is so I can think clearer.
Make up words, it's good.
And not think stupid shit, because when my brain fog's not there, like I did with that situation.
You got to flip it.
Go on.
You have to imagine that all you do is think of silly shit. And then you need to work out how you don't. I think one of the things is you're trying to make sure, and I said this many times before about distracting yourself, but if you distract yourself way too much with other stuff, you're not actually come to terms. I think I said this the last week or the week before, that we're literally living our lives and driving a car, but only looking in the rearview mirror.
Yep.
We need to stop thinking about everything that's going to cause us doubt and stress. And we need to project forward and be like, hey, this is what I need to achieve to be the place. Are you set up for the next 5 years? Because I guarantee you're not.
No.
And I'm not just saying you, I'm talking about all of us.
No, but in a sense of, you don't know what's about to hit. We can't.
But what if you write down some things? So this is one of the topics that I get people to do. So I get people to write down 3 of the worst things happen to you in your life. They haven't happened yet. Just write down 3 of the worst things that can happen to you in your life. So lose your job.
Mm-hmm.
Lose your house. One of your parents dies. You get ill. Okay? And then what you need to do is you need to write down, what would I do if that happened? 3 things. So if any of those things happen, you have already written down 3 things that you can do if they do. It's not going to make you feel any better.
Yeah, but isn't the emotions out of it at the moment?
Of course, that's the best time.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is when it happens,
of course,
emotions, feelings.
How long do they last for? Not forever. So you can go back to wherever you write this down on your phone, on a book, a computer, whatever, and you'll be like, right, this is what my plan was if these things happen. And you will just be in a better place than if you never think of those things. If you never think of those things ever and they happen, you're in a really tough spot. But if you've just got like a bit of an idea of what I would do and what I'd like to do before those things happen, say you're going to lose your job, right? Project it. What happens if I lose my job? It's like, right, what I could do in the meantime, I'm not working all the time, so I could probably look to retrain in something else at the moment, but I still keeping my job. Could do an online course, blah, blah, blah. So if it ever happens, and I do, actually I could jump over and actually have skills in another place. Not only just the skills that I had before in the job that I'm in now, but I also have skills somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of tie myself over, so I got enough time to go and find another job. Parent getting ill, parent dying. I've never gone on holiday with them. I've never asked them what their best thing of their favourite film was. I've never sat down and got all the stories I need to get from them. Because you can't do it when it's happened.
Yeah.
So you can have an idea of things that you think, okay, I can't stop this from happening, but I can get everything I need to do and in place for when it does.
Mm-hmm. So you don't, yeah. See, I've kind of got a different theory on that.
Okay.
I only worry about today.
That's fine.
And the future will sort itself out. That's kind of what gets me through the day, if that makes sense.
I will give you that. At the same time,
but I get all the logic of what you're saying as well at the same time.
Yeah, of course. And I think
it's a middle
thing that works for you. But I think what you come up with works short term.
Yes.
Does not work long term.
No.
In any capacity. So you can only take one step a day instead of taking 1,000 steps in the future and then coming back to that one step and be like, oh, I've already marked that point. I already know where I'm going to be.
You know, like people have their 5-year, 10-year plan kind of thing.
Yeah, because where do you get to? Because you're just basing it on being on luck and things not going wrong. That is a problem. Mm-hmm. Because I've already wrote a map of 3 things to go wrong in the next 5-10 years. Yeah. And I'm like, right, what do I do?
It's like preparing yourself early, isn't it? But to me, I don't.
It's a bit like saving for a house in 10 years' time. You can't save for a house tomorrow. So you have to have a plan of be like, right, I need to put away £100 a month for the next 10 years. Right? That's what I'm going to do. And that's going to help because I'm going to have enough money to buy something with someone else. Might not be able to do it on my own. But in 10 years' time, my kid actually might be like, oh, I'm doing this. Do you want to do something together, Dad? You'd be like, yeah. He's like, oh, I've saved this much money. You've got this much money. We can put it together. Or there's a good scheme that we can kind of do and we can kind of Airbnb this place and then we can kind of set ourselves up, but it's going to take 15 years. You okay with that? You're like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's this idea of just kind of thinking it's fine to live now, but you also should be thinking about what you want because none of this matters.
No, it doesn't.
And you should be setting your kids up. Not you up anymore.
No, I feel I suppose every generation said this about the next one. Unless you agree with that generation below us, you're wrong.
I don't think you have to agree. I think you have to be open to be educated and to be like, okay, I have these conversations with my neighbour. He's 75. We don't agree on everything. It's good. That's where we come in the middle and we like, hey, if we just agree with the next generation up or whatever, that's mental. You can't just be like, yeah.
But you know, I think with every generation, we've made it easier. Oh, there was a guy, I think I brought this up before. He said something about my father had to walk 10 miles and his father had to walk, 10, and then he had to walk 5 and I had to walk none. And now the next gen, and it has to be worse before it gets better, and then being better makes it worse.
The saying is, that works perfectly. I think that the saying is, if I can try and remember it, is that tough times make tough people, and tough people make easier times, which makes easier people, which makes tough times.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I feel like the next generation is going to have because, like you said, they're connected constantly. They've got everything they ever want. In fairness, I'm not saying all kids, but majority of kids.
I still think we're just sweeping generalization a little bit. Just me being around so many kids of what they were doing and their conversations they have, it's not what you think it is.
Why? What makes you say that?
You know, they're as entitled as we are. They just grown up with the technology and that's fine. But if I ask kids and I'd be like, hey, how are you? Do you know what? Do you know how many kids say to me now, they're like, yeah, no, I'm good. How are you? I'm like, what? They're more conscientious. You know, they're more likely to think about like, hey, how's your mental health doing? We would never say that. There's no way when we were younger we would have said that.
No way.
No way.
No, I give you that.
You know, and yes, okay, we get some bits that we have, you know, in the world that it's quite hard to tell off kids now. Well, other parents make that happen. You know what I mean? Because like I could be told off by any neighbor. You try and tell a kid off now, like it's not rare. But yeah, again, sleeping generalization. I remember asking one of the kids at football. I was like, "What do you want to do when you're older?" He was like, "I think I might join the army. I think that's my idea. That I want to do that. Maybe the RAF or something like that. I think he said, I think I'm disciplined, but I think there's more there."
Oh wow!
And I'm like, what? And by the way, he grew up. I've taught him since he was like 7, right? And he grew up. He's 15, 16 now. And he was like the kindest child I've ever met in my entire life. And then he changed. And then he was kind of like more, a bit quiet and stuff like that. Really good at football and blah, blah, blah. But that kindness never went away. He just kind of put it somewhere else. And he was always this kid that just was quite giving and really sweet. And then I looked at the other kids in the football team. And they're all the same. And I'm like, what? We're like, oh, bloody hell, this kid's in it. And I'm like, no. They've got like ideas and thoughts and, you know, learning how to do trades or whatever. I'm like, what? This is not what I'm being depicted. I'm hearing like, no one can have an opinion. Everyone's wrong. You have to say this. You have to do that. Like, no. They're just a little bit more like, I don't care if my friend's gay.
You mean they're more accepting?
No, it's just diluted because it's there. If you see stuff all the time, then it doesn't shock you. If my dog hears a sound, she's like, what? I've never heard that sound before. What's going on? If she hears that sound like 3 more times, she's like, yeah, doesn't care anymore. Mm. It's dilution. You know, and I think that's what we keep on tarring generations and other people and children and all this stuff with, this is what they're like, and we're in trouble. You look in history, they used to say that reading books was lazy and you should just be able to remember what we taught you. You know, reading books was... Oh, yeah, but reading books was the TV of its time, was the phones of its time. There's always something that the generation is kind of doing and inventing and embracing that the older generation is like, well, I never had that when I was younger. Who cares? That's where we are now, because every generation is just kind of built.
So do you reckon back, obviously we're hitting on the subject of what you're saying, the kids in bits pieces.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they had their version of the same problem with the mental health? And do you see what I mean? As in, because mental health can't be a new thing. It must have been since the day of dawn, right? Because obviously mental health is not a disease, it's a problem in our brains. So that must have always been the thing. But the more...
Well, it's worry, isn't it, mainly? Yeah. Most of it is broken down to worry. You know, that's what you...
But they obviously had different worries to what we have now. But in fairness, they must have always had... There must have always been mental health. We just didn't talk about it.
We're living in houses now. You know what I mean? Like, 150 years ago, they weren't. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean, but they had different worries to what we're having. But
obviously, some people were living in houses, but like, majority of people were not living well.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say is, but they had their own versions of their problems for their era. Is that the right word I'm looking for?
I have a feeling that we went from not talking about it at all to talking about it too much.
That's my point.
And it's this pendulum swing of just like, and that's what we kind of, when we watch news is, if you break down the word news, is new. It's new stuff. That's what it is. And that's why we watch it and we're like, oh my God, it's just new. Because if it happens all the time, it'll never be on there.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say is with hitting exactly, every generation's had mental health problems. And obviously, I could say I've had mental health problems. But I feel like a lot of people are using it to their own purpose.
Maybe. But is there a bad thing about that? Is there a bad thing about that? I don't know. I don't mind people using it.
No, but what I'm trying to say is like kids now, I know, like what you're trying to say, they're no different. But we're seeing them because they've got more technology and bits and pieces like that. Oh, well, he's hurt his thumb. Whereas Johnny 20 years ago, oh, what, man, look what I've done.
Yeah, but...
Do you get what I mean?
But James might have not been like that. So it makes no difference. It's all individual kids and that's.
But do you know what I'm trying to say is, do you
I
not
don't think kids are
were
harder
tougher
now. No.
back then?
No.
No?
No.
So, okay, what did you do as a kid then? How did you get in contact with your mates?
That makes no difference because there was no other way to do it. I just go and knock for them.
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
It's
But kids can code. Can you code? No. You know what I mean? You know, it's funny. Kids can literally, kids will make this YouTube channel like lucrative as shit. And we're not. And do you know why we're not?
Go on.
Because we're old school. We just can just do this. It's fine. We're just
Which
doing the
alright.
way.
Yeah,
Not, like
yeah.
they'll be like, wait, that's not working. That's not working. That's not working. That's not working. Let's have a 5 hour. Let's work out how we can do it. Like we got to make money. We got to do this. This is the only way that we can do it. I have nothing else to work on. Right? I have school. This it, and then I'm going to do this. Okay. That's how they think. If you watch any other YouTuber, there's no YouTubers making loads and loads and loads of money that haven't been famous before or don't have a famous parent when they're older. It's all a young person's game. Do you know the demographic of YouTube?
Go on.
The majority of people that are male and female that watch it?
All right, more male.
Mate, it's like 80%.
What, male?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
It's
know why? In
crazy.
the politest way, knowing obviously,
Loads of girls like to watch serial killer stuff on like Netflix. They love that stuff.
they'll come out with,
love it.
I've had to look after the kids.
Well, they probably had to.
That's what I mean. It's
They probably had to. You know what I mean?
anyway, because we've just been ranting for
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah
A while.
My mental health's more important than your mental health.
Yeah, good.
Is that what we said?
But for you, it should be.
That's what I'm trying to say.
For you, it should be.
I think we are, like you said,
If you're
you've
not
hit the nail on the
caring
head.
about
We
yourself
are
more-
kind of our own problem.
Yeah, if you're not caring about yourself more, that's weird. That's so weird. You shouldn't care about mine more. Why you care about mine as well, but not more.
Peter, you've been a bit quiet there, mate. Have you just?
Well,
kind
because
of
he hasn't
fell
had.
asleep?
He can't get a bloody word in edgeways. I don't.
You
Don't shut up. Do I?
don't shut up. You
What's
I've
going-
been sat there. What, Peter? On the camera, who was the most talking then?
It's me.
Right. Every week. My God, you just don't shut up.
Remember, you host this show. I'm just a co-host.
Really? Is this not the day?
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. You should be doing. That's why. No, but that's what you should be doing. You should be your co-host. But one of the things what we should do. Go on, Pete. What's been going on with you?
He's like, shh.
Yeah, he's like, I'm all right.
Yeah, I'm alright.
I'm all right. No, Peter, if you've not been watching all these episodes, then no, you can't just say you're all right.
You can say you're all right. If you're all right, what if you're actually all right?
Because no one actually believes you're all
I've
right.
got a good job,
There you go.
a nice new job.
There you go.
What about the boss?
He's a bit of a knob, but
Pete says how it is. Love that already.
Oh, yeah. He's actually
that's
quite
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Need a
good.
new computer.
He's getting a new computer,
He
so
wants
he's
a
going to be
new
happy.
computer, yeah, 'cause he's just...
Well, you need it.
Yeah, we do need it.
Yeah, I'm going to get a new computer as well because I'm doing some editing stuff as well. So I feel like I need it. So tell me what you're getting and then I can...
So what is it we need? RAM, isn't it?
Yeah, I need a lot more RAM and a newer computer.
You don't know what that is, do you?
Yeah, of course it is.
Do you know why?
I know what we got. We got 8, but I know we need 16
Yeah, you need
plus.
16. Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. But I
Did you know that?
Yeah, of course. And that's why I'm buying a
What
new
do you mean?
computer.
So what one you got now then?
I have 8.
So what's that then?
I think there's 8 on here. Yeah, so it does the stuff that I need it to do, but I need another computer so I can...
Do purposely exact same. Yeah.
Well, because if I'm editing videos, as people know, it takes a lot.
Pete, you told me it was easy.
Nothing is easy. Everything is time consuming. Yeah.
Is that not right, Peter?
Well, I've been editing videos for 20 years, so
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit
But it
easier.
takes time, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
also,
takes-
you still had to do it for 20 years. You couldn't just skip that. You had to do all the stuff around it. You know what I mean? You had to do those years to be as good as you are. I can do it quicker.
Yeah, see.
There's no first track.
Yeah. Right, Peter.
yeah.
I'm going to put you on a spot now because I know you're unprepared for this bit. Your thought of the day. Because I know what Daniel's doing now. He's looking his bit up right as we speak.
Thought of the day.
Yeah, your thought of the day.
You should always go first and then so Peter has to go second.
No, because I hadn't
You don't have
prepared
one.
for it
Yeah,
neither.
it's fine.
Because obviously I got so carried away talking. Normally when I'm listening to you talk, it gives me the...
That's true. That's true. Yes, Peter, do you have any thought of the day? Or just anything that's just going on in your mind? You're just like, oh, that's how I'm going to deal with today.
Nothing all that interesting, really. It's whether I get to go on my PlayStation 5 when I get home.
I kind of like
Because I
it.
bought one last week.
Oh, did you?
Do you know what the politest way with him? The I like it. He's
You get
simple. He doesn't make things complicated. Like his complication when he's like messaging me, he's got, I've done this and I've done that, but I've had an idea. But he solved it. And when you read his text messages, like, mate, what are you actually texting me for? Because you've actually solved it. The time I get to the bottom part of the text, you've actually solved the problem, and all you look going, I was like,
But isn't
What do I reply
that
to
isn't that kind of what you would want?
yeah, but it's like,
Wouldn't you like your kids to be like that? You know what I mean? Like, how are you doing? I'm really cool. I'm just gonna play my PlayStation. Awesome. I've got it last week.
so you don't obviously get lots of time to play on the computer, do you, Peter? Well,
Not
no,
really,
work-wise, as in your PlayStation.
Not with a 6-year-old. Holds it all the time.
And that's not going to help, yeah. But you also can then train them up, because the best thing about kids is when you can train them to, well, go and get you some toast, but also to like play computer
That's
games.
one of the first things I did to teach them to go and get the TV remote.
Yeah, can you? Because they love it. They're like, "Do you want to play a game?"
That's exactly what I did. I used to do to get all of them, my kids. One for you.
Yeah.
And this is when it comes to pudding. One for you, one for me. Two for you, 1, 2 for me. It took them years to work that out. 'Cause obviously, yes, not until they learned to count did they
you're
realise what I was
cheeky.
doing. But yeah, for years.
What are you playing on your PlayStation 5?
I got that new Ghostbusters game.
Is it good?
It is good, actually, yeah. Yeah, you get to play as Ghostbusters and as the ghosts as well.
As the ghosts?
Yeah. It's cool.
You can play a Slimer.
I don't think so. They're sort of new made-up ghosts.
They're new made up because they didn't get the rights or something.
That's a bad guarantee, that.
Yeah, no.
You can be like Egon or Peter or...
No, because it's kind of set in today's world.
Oh, so really they didn't get the rights
Ghostbusters
at all.
are kind
No, it's a
of,
completely
old.
made up.
Yeah.
and it's kind of
What are you trying to say, Peter? Are we old?
past.
See, that's what he did past. Clever. Didn't give it...
But the first thing is, right, he said to me the other day, I didn't get much to play with it because his son come in and took over. He's a 40-plus-year-old man, right? Having a fight with a 6-year-old over a computer.
Of course. Yeah, they'll be better than you as well before you know it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's fair.
So basically, you can considerably say, Peter, it's not your computer anymore, is it?
Not really, no.
No.
Never has been.
No. We sacrifice things for our kids.
Is that your thought of the day?
That was my thought. We sacrifice.
You can't steal it. I was just about to use it myself. Such a...
Why do we have the shelves so high that we can't see Pete?
Because obviously on camera,
yeah.
it all depends if
Right.
Peter's not normally on,
Yeah.
like, is he? So obviously he can still do the switching, and you don't get to see his lovely face because not everybody wants him in the background of their podcast.
Ah.
No, apparently he's got a face that only a mother could love.
Well, don't worry. When you do leave, Pete, you can be a guest because that's apparently what happens.
Not for at
guest.
least 2 years, Peter.
Oh, okay, you've got to stay now. We're getting through
You're
them.
not allowed to leave for a long time.
Where were you going then, Scott? What are you saying?
Well, he stole my one.
Okay.
Life's about a sacrifice.
All right, Jesus.
Do you know what, right? Do you know what we haven't asked for?
What?
So we've asked everyone to sponsor us and
Yeah.
bits and pieces. We've not asked
I don't know
that.
where you're going to go with this.
No, but on the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Why don't people give us the thought of the day?
Oh, so we can read out theirs?
Yeah,
Because, like, Pete's got a computer, so he can just do it for us.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Okay, so if you've got any thoughts of the day, or just of the week, or just in life, why don't you go into the comments below and just write something nice? Like, you know,
Not that that hat doesn't suit him.
it's fine. It's because you want it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've got the
It's fine.
same hat.
My thought of the day is don't actually be afraid to fail because it's the only way that we learn.
Yeah, in fairness, I get obviously you know what
When
I
things
don't
go
know.
wrong,
The reason why we're doing this because I failed.
yeah.
Certain things.
Who hasn't failed, Scott?
I don't want to fail. No, that's a problem.
Oh, but tough. Now you're trying to be too far away from it. You have to embrace failure, and then you'll be like, okay with that.
All right. Well, I'll guess what we failed because I forgot to press record.
I can see the red button. We're fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. Anything that you're doing for the rest of the week?
Yes, me and Peter are going to go down to the gym because I've managed to scrape together 5 people's worth of money for a month.
Nice.
So I'm going to put a video together and PT for free for 5 people for the month. So I'm going to give the
Amazing.
opportunity to anybody and everybody to come forward to either nominate or use it themselves that could benefit from the mental health stuff that I do. Obviously, not just obviously the PT and all the other bits and stuff that I'm trained in. And yeah, see if I can get the 5. I'm going to do a nice video promotion for that and see where we go from there.
Sounds good.
What you got planned for me?
I was at Battersea Dogs and Cats Home yesterday doing a video for them with postcode, which is fun.
You could tell you have a dog though,
Why?
because I see it. The thing where they
You see my dog? Oh, yeah. That's not my dog, though.
No. But in the sense of
They did teach us this trick. I was quite impressed with it. And do you know what? Tomorrow marks 9 years of not smoking.
You smoked.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you smoke on an X Factor then?
Yes.
So being a singer, surely I just assumed because you was a singer, you'd never smoke.
No. Being skinny on TV is more important.
No cream, no nut, fag. That's the basics of where you went with that.
I'd already given up for 5 years, and it was one of the contestants. I won't name him, Jamie Effrey, and he was just like,
Shame and shame.
he was just like, cigarette. Literally at Judges' House, I just got through. And was like, cigarette. I was like, yeah. That's how weak it was, and that was 2009.
So what age did you start smoking then?
16.
Yeah, I can blame, and I am going to name and shame him because it was his fault that encouraged me, and I encouraged him. Jamie Britton, when we were 10. Stole one of his mum's fags. I stole one of my mum's fags, and we went and smoked it around the shed. And I've been smoking since then.
I mean, it must have been disgusting.
It was horrible. Why would you have not thought that would have put me off?
I
But
don't know.
yeah,
No, it was cool, wasn't it? And then I'm going to go and see Jay McKelvey won our year of X Factor, and he's doing a show at the Pizza Express in Soho. So it's like a prestigious Pizza Express.
I thought Pizza Express had gone under.
No. No. Don't we have 2 in Reading?
No, they're not there no more.
Are they not there anymore? The one in
No,
the
and
Oracle?
even in Newbury. That's what made me think they were. Oh, is it in the Oracle now?
Yeah, the one's in the Oracle. Yeah, it's
right,
fine.
okay.
And they just moved. And so this one's in Soho, and I think it's one of the first ever Pizza Express, and they have live music every day. And Joe's got his band and stuff like that, so we're going to go and see him with some family members.
Nice. Peter, what you got planned for the rest of the thing besides fighting with your 6-year-old?
Not much really. Work.
I like it.
How simple. That's
chill.
like he is quite chilled actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best way to be.
It's like you know, like you have a puppy and you can't get angry with it.
Yeah,
And it's like,
is that what it is?
yeah, like with
With Kai and
it's
Callum.
like, you fuck me off. And with him, it's like, yeah, okay, mate, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake,
Yeah.
walk off.
Because he's calm.
Yeah.
Does it calmly.
Yeah.
Perfect. What episode was this? Did we hit it?
31.
No, we're 30, aren't we?
This is either 30 or 31.
Oh, I have no idea. We're not even looking. We'll find out. You'll find out because you can just read it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like to like and subscribe, probably most of you people are not subscribed to this channel if you're watching us. So make sure you do that. Click the button below.
Don't just watch us, subscribe,
Yeah.
because you'd never know what we're going to do next.
And if you press the bell, it can remind you that we've got a new episode coming up. So there you go. You can never miss it.
Ding dong.
Perfect. That's what I do as a job. Anyway, Scott, it's been a pleasure.
Pleasure too.
I'll see you
See you
next
in a bit.
week.